Leave slots open for other people to contribute to your life. You always want people to say, wow, that was amazing, and look for more and not be able to find it until you're ready to deliver it again. That's where you want to keep people. Regular teenagers worry about acne. This is not what I have to worry about type of thing. So he was mad at her for not being as jaded as he was. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren, and over here we discuss life topics by analyzing characters from popular TV and film. So today we are talking about Suki and Ty Lee from the Avatar the Last Airbender series, and we're talking about balancing femininity and toughness. So let's get into it. So there's a lot of talk and a lot of content out nowadays, not only here on YouTube, but just in media in general, about femininity and masculinity, what it should really look like, how to tap into both of these energies. I like all of the varied discussions on the topic. I'm really happy anytime information is made available to people when they didn't necessarily have access to it before. This isn't something we really learned in school. We learned about maleness and femaleness in a biological sense in school, but not really the energies and the characteristics of femininity and masculinity. So let's kind of get into it. I wanted to look at these two characters because they're two side characters who add a lot of value to the series. They're two different types of characters, two different types of girls, but they have this connection, and we see them even come together and join together as one team at the end. Suki and Ty Lee joins the Kyoshi Warriors in the end. So I want to kind of dig into who they are, how they got where they are, and I want to give you guys some advice on coming to a balanced place where you are being your full self and not neglecting any part of your identity, including your femininity. So let's take a look at both characters for a minute. Suki is a Kyoshi warrior. She is in a band of girls who have essentially dedicated themselves to protecting the island of Kyoshi, and they have been doing this for years. It's a tradition for the Kyoshi warriors. They have their own garb, their own makeup, their own ceremonies. They train together, and this is what they do. They band together to protect the island. And as warriors, we immediately kind of see what people may perceive as this disconnect between their femininity and their warriorness. It's not typical of a woman to be the protector of any group, especially a group of people who include men. So there's this immediate disconnect that some might see with Suki. So we're kind of going to get into her character and how she balances that out. We meet Suki on Kyoshi Island. She immediately clashes with Sokka. And Sokka is a person that himself is struggling with his own masculinity. Sokka is suffering from a form of low self-esteem. He's not a bender, but he's on the team with the Avatar and Katara, who will eventually become one of the greatest water benders out there. He has been the one that has been expected to protect his homeland, but has not really been able to do that because he was a child at the time and he didn't have any warrior training. So they're just kind of butting heads because of Sokka's insecurity and because of Suki's strength and her confidence, and that is conflicting with how he feels about himself, and he's essentially projecting a lot of his insecurities onto Suki, and Suki's not having it. So that's how we find Suki. And Ty Lee, on the other hand, is a minion of Azula, and we find out more about her story in the episode The Beach. We find out that she is a sister out of 6 identical sisters, and she has struggled with being able to stand out and getting attention and being an individual, and her confidence is a little lacking because of that. But Ty Lee on the surface may come off as a lot more feminine because she has the girly feminine type. She's very sparky and upbeat. She has a higher voice. She wears pink. She does gymnastics. She has a very peppy, girly type of femininity that's easy to see on the surface without having to dig in too far into her character. Equally as useful, relevant characters. What can we glean from these two, and what middle ground can we come out on so that we are taking the best from the both of these two? Okay, so we're going to get into 3 tips that you can use to start making that balance. Number 1 is to only show off when needed and to always leave them wanting more. This is especially important when you're trying to tap into your femininity, because if you want people to want to help you, to want to serve you, to want to be a resource for you or an aid to you, they have to see a reason to be so. If you're completely self-sufficient, if you're completely independent, which there's nothing inherently wrong with being self-sufficient, it's actually a great thing to have. And if you have it, don't throw it away, keep it, but sprinkle this into your mixture. Don't let everybody know that. Don't let everybody know that you're self-sufficient. That's just a skill that you have that you know you can pull out if if you're stranded on an island or something. You don't have to show that off to everyone. You want people to know that you're competent and skilled, and you want people to see some of your successes, but you don't want to build yourself so high up that no one thinks of you when it comes time to give a gift, to give help, to give aid, to be there for you. You don't want to be this overly strong person who doesn't receive from anyone, because it's very feminine to receive. It's one of the perks that we have as women. People are willing to give to us. People are willing to do for us what they know that we may not be as good at or can't do. Whether that's strength, whether that's money, it could be a million different things, but people are willing to give to women, especially feminine women, and don't feel the need to reject it. Like I said, it's one of the few perks we have in this society, so don't give that up just to prove to other people that you can be self-sufficient. Women are amazing, okay? There are a lot of things that we can do. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying just become this damsel that is always looking for a handout. I'm saying leave slots open for other people to contribute to your life. Let's look at Suki for a minute. When she's helping the gang through the Serpent's Pass, we see her and Sokka kind of going at it a little bit again, a little relationship, quarrels. And the reason is they're both having kind of issues with this is because Sokka is feeling the need to protect Suki. He doesn't want to lose anyone else. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt, especially the girl that he loves. He has just dealt with his situation with Yue. And Suki is just in a completely different mindset. She's like, I'm here to help you guys, so you don't have to go out of your way to protect me. That's what's in her head. And they are not understanding one another, but they come to an understanding when Suki kind of explains to Sokka that she doesn't need him to protect her. And I want to look at that for a minute. It's true. Suki does not need Sokka to protect her because Suki is just as capable as a warrior as Sokka is. But here's the thing. This may sound a little mean, but whatever. If someone is willing to stick their neck out for you, to sacrifice themselves for you, to put themselves in front of danger so that you don't have to experience it, take it. Take it. Don't tell them no. Don't say, well, I can take a bullet too. No. What are you trying to prove? If someone wants to do that for you, I'm not saying push nobody out in front of you. Oops. Not that. But if someone genuinely wants to do that for you, why reject that? Don't reject that. And that's the mistake that Suki made here. It's not that she's not capable. And Sokka's not blind or stupid. He can see how capable she is. Suki is an amazing character, period. And she's an amazing warrior. And she has proven herself to be so useful to Team Avatar, even as a non-bender. But still, even with all of that knowledge, he wanted genuinely to help her and to protect her and to put himself in harm's way for her. And she rejected that. Ladies, don't do that. If someone wants to do something for you, let them. They want to open a door. They want to pay for things. They want to lift it so you don't have to. They want to take the brunt of a situation. Allow them to do that so that you don't have to deal with it. This is a perk. This is a benefit. This is a good thing. It shows that they care, and it relieves you of some of the tougher parts of life. I see this as an absolute win, okay? Also, to the point of always leave them wanting more, is you never want to show all of your cards. You always want people to say, wow, that was amazing, and look for more and not be able to find it until you're ready to deliver it again. That's where you want to keep people as a feminine woman, because you want people coming back. If you just kind of show all of your power at once, it kind of becomes less valuable, because
oh, we saw that already. Yeah, you did that.
So you never want to show all of your cards. And I think a lot of us women, we get sucked into this competition. It's like the Flex Olympics, because the world is so competitive. There's social media, there's people constantly, you know, calling people out, and you don't have this and you don't have that, but look at my life and all this stuff. And we get into this very competitive energy that's unhealthy for our minds and our bodies. It's just not doing anyone any good. And you start playing these games that we're inevitably going to lose. Number 2 is to create a Ty Lee world for yourself. If you guys recall the season 3 episode, The Beach, Ty Lee explains her situation to her friends, and Zuko comes talking about some.
You're just living in your little Ty Lee world and blah, blah, blah.
He's yelling at her for no reason. That Ty Lee world he's talking about is a bit of a facade that she's been putting on. It's not a complete facade. This is kind of her personality, but she's also hiding some things with this. But the world that he is talking about is this very pleasant, optimistic, upbeat, I'm not worried about too much type of thing. Because the conversation right before that was that she said, don't yell, don't stress or whatever, because it'll make you break out. And Zuko was like, regular teenagers worry about acne. This is not what I have to worry about type of thing. So he was mad at her for not being as jaded as he was. Ain't that like people? So what we can glean from this is to create a Ty Lee world for yourself. Create a world in your own mind, apart from what's going on around you, that is optimistic, that is positive, that is looking for the good, that is sometimes focused on the trivial things, because no one needs to be deep in it 100% of the time. That was Zuko's problem. He was just focused on all the time finding the Avatar, regaining my honor, and it made him this stressed out, upset, brooding type of person, which is the opposite of femininity. Femininity is free, it's loose, it's open, it's free from a ton of stress and a ton of negativity, and it has the freedom to move as it wills. So you have to create a world for yourself that is like that, or at least a mental space that is like that. Ty Lee's life was not perfect. She said how she grew up. Azula stole her and made her do her bidding. There were things going on in her life that were not purely positive. But to look at her, you would think that it was, because of the way that she carried herself and the mental space that she put herself in. She saw the best in everything. She was fluid, and she didn't let things shake her. Focus on the positive. Don't get bogged down in the cares of this world. That could look different ways for different people. That might mean turning off the TV and the news and not stressing yourself out every single time you turn on the TV. It may mean detaching from some of this worrisome content. It may mean putting on your headphones at work and not listening to all of the stuff that your coworkers and your boss are saying. It may mean stop hanging out with certain people who are bringing down your mood and your energy. It could look a lot of different ways. But the point is to just develop that headspace where you can be free, fluid, and walk in your femininity without being bogged down. And make this place inaccessible. No one else can come here with you. When you're in this headspace, no one can come in and knock, knock. Can I come in? No, thank you. Sorry, bye. This isn't a place that's for everyone. This is a place that's for you. You cultivated it, you maintain it, and it's your space, okay? And number 3 is to know thyself. This is how you cultivate that feminine confidence that is just so attractive to people. Well, men, women, and children alike are attracted to confident women who are secure in their identity. They know who they are, they know where they're going, and they're not bothered by everyone else because they already know what it is for them. And I want to look at Suki for this one, because I know the reason that I really love Suki is because there's just this sense of security. There's this sense of stability. She's sturdy because she knows who she is. She's not trying to be anyone else. She walks in her purpose and no one can tell her anything. And I don't mean that like in a sassy way, like she can't be told anything. I mean that in a, you're not going to bring her down. Sokka tried, Azula and the gang tried. I'm sure when she went to the Boiling Rock and she was in jail, somebody tried her, you know, to bring her down, but she was always the same person. She was always this kind-hearted person willing to look out for the next person. She was kind throughout the series. In fact, her character actually didn't have that much development, and I think that's because she was introduced to us and she already had a full understanding of who she was. There wasn't much to change in terms of her character. She didn't really have an arc. Whereas Ty Lee did have an arc. She started off as a person who was insecure about not being able to stand out. She needed a little extra attention because she wasn't getting that growing up. She goes from this to making a full arc and coming around to join the Kyoshi Warriors, joining the exact group that she loathed when she was a child, because she was now putting herself in a position where she was going to be with other girls who were going to dress exactly like her, were going to wear the same makeup as her, they were going to fight in unison. Where she had overcome that part of her life and was now ready to be her full self by joining the Kyoshi Warriors. But Suki kind of already had this, which is the reason she was able to be a Kyoshi Warrior and be amongst those girls who were dressed and looked pretty much exactly like her, because she had already cultivated this sense of self. And one telltale sign of if a person, just if you guys are wondering, of a person who is confident and has cultivated this sense of self is a person that helps other people. So many times in life we get so focused on ourselves, and it's because we feel like our life isn't together. We feel like we have so many things on the to-do list to get ourselves right, and we're not proud of who we are and what our life looks like, and we're just working, trying to get our life to look how we want it to look. But a person who is taking time out of time they could be using to develop themselves and helping others is a sign of someone who is, at least to some degree, satisfied with the life that they have made for themselves and who they are, to the point where they're able to go out and help other people. So this is a telltale sign of Suki's confidence, is her willingness to help people, her willingness to help the refugees in season 2, her willingness to go across with the gang to the Serpent's Pass, her willingness to help break out of jail at the Boiling Rock. This is all because she knows who she is and she is unselfish enough to help others. Alrighty, you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. And the question that I want you guys to answer in the comments below is, what are some of the greatest feminine traits? I want you to leave your answers below, and I will see you guys in the next video.